All right, white knuckle. All right, we got the Dom Steel white knuckle off-road sliders going on this 2004 GX470. So, first steps, if you didn't get yours powder coated like me, because you're cheap like me, it's just some brake clean and some paper towels to wipe them down, and hit them with the Scotch Scuff Pad all over until they look clean. And now we're gonna go paint. So let's go. The sliders come with a rust protective coating, so you need to get all that off. Start with the paper towels and the brake clean and move on to the scuff pad. Once you do that, use VHT Wrinkle Plus paint. This paint works best when you dry it in direct sunlight, so apply as needed and let it sit out in the sun to dry, and then you get a nice wrinkle finish. We got the parking brake bracket out. You should probably do that before hooking up the front, but we also hooked up the front first. It's a little tough to get up in there. But yeah, that's step one. Sliders are painted, they're looking really good. So let's keep going. Passenger side is in. Front was a little bit tough to get to, but not too bad. Over here, basically, all you gotta do is feed the U-bolt up and around the frame, so it's like this, and do that for that. I believe you have to feed it under here. It might be a little tough. I think they say in the instructions to undo this, so I'm gonna do that next, and then we'll figure out what to do with that later. I'm just trying to see what this thing looks like. All right, so as you can see by the dirt, we've had a pretty good time with this rig after finishing the sliders. Now I just want to show you a little bit of what it took to get these installed. The passenger side went fairly quickly, about a half an hour. The driver's side, if I knew what I know now, I could have done it much faster. So basically I want to save you some time by showing you how to do this. So I'm going to show you underneath, and hopefully it can help you get the confidence to put these in yourselves. So we started out on the passenger side, which we heard was the easy side. Basically how it goes on, you just feed these U-bolts up this way and then rotate them, and they come over here. This little pivoting arm is just supposed to go around the parking brake cable. So in case you're wondering, that's where that goes. This one's probably the easiest one to put on because everything's pretty home free. And the only thing tough about this one is that this one's a bit hard to get to. You have two nylon locking nuts that you're gonna use on both front sides as well as on the driver's side. And that's because they're kind of tight, so you can't fit this locking washer. So you just get the washer and then the nylon locking nut right there. So that's only on the tight places that you can't reach. Let's go over to the driver's side where we had a bit of fun. Okay, we're on the driver's side. One thing to keep in mind, these are not all the same size. This one in the rear is smaller, and that's to get you through here. So that's something some of the other videos didn't really go over. So we had a bit of a struggle session with that. So what you want to do first is up here on the top of the frame, there's basically a plastic bracket that holds two hard brake lines in, and you need to lift it out of the frame. It's really difficult. You need to get a screwdriver there and pull the brake lines out of the bracket. So unclip them and try to like move them out of the way and like rotate the bracket and then pop it out. That took a while. So You know, be patient and just keep working with it and you'll get it eventually. So again, this U-bolt is smaller than these ones, because what you're working with here is a bit wider frame. Same with up here. So it's widest up here, which is why it has the least threads on the end, and then it's a little more here. And again, it's really tight in this one, but it's easily doable if you use just that nylon locking nut with the washer. Everything else should get a stack like this. All right, here is some real footage of how the bracket is supposed to look after you have installed the spacer. Before you install the spacer, it is just in there by itself, directly in the frame. I'm just trying to see what this thing looks like. What you want to do is pop those brake lines out and rotate the bracket clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't matter, as long as it ends up perpendicular to the brake lines. Because if you don't do that, the brake lines are just going to want to go right back into place, and you're going to have a tough time prying it out with the brake lines in place. So just get it, pop the brake lines out, rotate that plastic bracket, and then start prying it out. Be patient, be gentle with the brake lines, and you'll get it out. Once you get it out, you're gonna feed this U-bolt up through here from the bottom of the gas tank. I actually ended up taking off the skid plate to give me a little more room, but it's gonna have a little bit of resistance, but you just need a little mallet to hammer it up. Again, perpendicular, so sideways here, hammer it up, and then once it gets to the top, rotate it. And since you've taken out the bracket here, the arm will be able to slide over from this side and end up forward like this. So these threads should be fed up towards, these threads should be towards the rear of the vehicle, and you feed them up, and then you rotate them 90 degrees. It's a little bit tough, but you'll get it once you're working on it. And then once you're done, they supply you with this black spacer that's there, and you just reassemble everything with that black spacer in place to give the brake lines a little bit of space out from that.
How sick is that?